Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
In previous sessions, we have talked about this training and development function of the HR manager. Now, we will continue about the understanding what is the development and the steps in the executive development programs which are likely to be taken. And then the management development programs under different organizations, for example, the TAS, Infosys, IMA, Wipro, Cognizant Technologies and the others we will take as an examples. Then the method and techniques of the executive development programs, the selection of the suitable method. Then as usual there will be one research paper and the book recommendations for your further references there. So, whenever we are talking about the development, basically organization is having the continuous developmental processes, and as the business environment changes, technological environment nowadays is very prominent to get changes, and then it requires that our executives are also getting the developed by the organizations are there. So, it is to improve their managerial performance. Naturally, we have to enhance their knowledge, attitude, skills, habits, the cash model, or whenever we are talking about that is the awareness, surrounding awareness are there in addition to their knowledge and skills, then they are developing a sense of capability is required and the role perception whatever the roles they are having. So, training certainly helps in improving that is the job related skills, but when the intent is to enhance the executives ability to handle the diversified jobs and prepare them for the future challenges, the focus must shift to the executive development is there. And whenever we are talking about this type of the development, then we have to see that is the steps, what steps normally the organization is supposed to take. So, these steps are as a model or the suggested steps are there. Naturally, with a reference to your organization, that is the what type of the development steps would you like to take, that you can aid, but basically these are the steps which are likely to be taken whenever we are going for these executive development programs are concerned. Now, first and foremost is the organizational needs. So, always we have to integrate the individual need with the organizational needs are there, and that integration is possible only by understanding first what are the organizational needs are there. Every organization is having the certain vision, mission, goals, objective, vision, and therefore, in that case these needs will be depending upon on this particular their objectives, missions or the vision and goals are concerned. So, in here we have to identify that is the why the organization wants to make the changes or the development is there. And there is this is related to the EDP, there is another term which is called the organizational development is there. So, when the first step which comes to develop the executives according to the need of the organizations. So, first we have to identify that what status of the organization is there, what technology they are using, how many jobs are there where they are required to develop themselves, so that the organization will become strong. So, therefore, in that case the organization's need analysis will be done. Simultaneously, when one side we are doing for this organizational need analysis, we have to also understand the individual need analysis. As I mentioned, that is there is a need for the combining the both of them, and that is organizational and the individual needs are there. So, individual needs will be also analyzed is there. On basis of this, the human capital of the organization, that is called the inventory of the management manpower, that will be developed, and this human capital nowadays many organizations even demonstrating this type of the human capital into their balance sheet also, and that is why we say that is the one organization is more knowledgeable as compared to the another organization, because the knowledge workers are more. How they develop the knowledge workers? With the help of this training and development is concerned. then whatever the large organization may be there, but the training is to be planned for the each and every individual whoever is working within the organization is there. So, therefore, right from the top management to the bottom management, there will be the individual performance analysis, and whenever individual performance analysis will be there, then accordingly the developmental program that will be suggested. So, establishment of the development program is there, and accordingly there will be the evaluation of results are there. So, in these steps we find that easy right from the organizational development needs in the different organizations to reach to the individual the training needs to be satisfied, and especially the performance of the organization that will be getting affected. Now, when we are talking about the Tata Group's managerial development program for the young managers are concerned, like it is called the Tata Administrative Services, that is in the conceived by the J.R.D. Tata in the 1950s. So, the culture of development and then taking the care of, that is not only the technical skills only, but it is the administrative skills. They are also very important, because when you have to get the work done, who are the managers? Managers are getting work done by as per their objective or goal or directions. So, therefore, since 1950s, this is the J.R.D. Chatterjee is having this type of this the development programs emphasize a structured organization through classroom inputs and the field visits are concerned. So, you cannot separate the classroom learning with the practical situations are there. Many people are having misconception, there is a difference, there is a gap, and the classroom is different than the practical requirement, but it is not so. You will be able to perform better at your workplace, in your field, at your field, when you are having this type of the structured orientation which will be providing them the strength, that is how to perform. A 7-week rural assignment exposes the trainees to community work and rural areas are there. So, in this example we find that is the Tata Group what does, that is the terminology is not very tough, and therefore, everybody can understand the terminology or the meaning of the terminology is given. So, as a result of which a structured orientation program through classroom inputs that will be delivered to those learners or trainees whatever the level is there, whether it is from the junior management, middle management or the top management level is there. A 7-week rural assignment exposes the trainees to completely work in rural area India is concerned. Recently we have seen that is there are so many projects are coming, so many the opportunities are coming to work on the rural technology, rural development, and here if this type of this rural marketing is there, so then definitely there will some development programs or training programs will be required, because some of the employees may not be aware about this particular technology. So, a 7-week rural assignment exposes the trainees to community work under and the rural areas are there. So, it includes the 3 business stints of the 15 weeks duration in sales and marketing, manufacturing and operation, and corporate strategy, finance and the human resources are there. So, therefore, it is having the different their different stints, or you can say the actions heads which will be taking the decisions. Now, when we are talking the another company example, that is the Infosys is there, and here the management development center is there, software development center, global education center is there, and the Infosys leadership institute is there. The total capacity for the students, learners, faculty at all on campus is the 6,000 is there. So, 6,000 people can be given the training at a time. Now, ILI headed by the Mr. K.C. Ramchandran, CMD of BHEL, and the 40 specialist professionals are there who will be conducting this type of the training programs, and IPI's main objective is to develop managerial abilities, onboarding and develop the leaders are there. So, this is basically the leadership quality development is there. 3 pillars of the ILI is learning managers, leaders, teach and line partnership. Onboarding is an intensive 14-week program that addresses orientation of new recruits on the soft skill is there. So, these developing the managerial abilities in the Infosys programs are titled that is consulting skills, then these Pravesh, Maestro, Ambassador and Diplomat. These consist of the modules that are structured around hygienic as well as the functional areas are concerned. Next organization for the development we will take as an example is the IMI is there. So, IMI has conducted in-house business simulation exercise at the Tata Power, Tisco, Reliance Industries, Aditya Birla Group, and then the NTPC, SESC, ONGC, IOCL, HPCL, SR, Bells, Jusuco, and the Hero Honda and many more is there. So, therefore, lot of examples are there which we can see, that is this IMI is taking care of, that is the how through the simulation exercises we can develop the manpower. Now, more and more organizations are planning to make it a regular feature in their in-house training programs are there. Unless and until the periodically there will not be the training program, the employees will not be able to cope up with the fast challenging the business environment is there. So, National Student Management Games are now held in the association with the Infosys, who is the title sponsor for these programs are there. Another example is of the Wipro. Management development is now that is the high priority for the companies on fast track growth is concerned. Wipro believes in growth further within, they have a philosophy now for many decades there, if they have an internal person who is 60% ready for the job, they will willing to be on that persons rather than the look outside is there, because already you are getting the, you can say the half cooked food is there, and then just you have to make the certain efforts and then it will be fully utilized at your workplace. Soft skills such as communication skills, presentation skills, this will be also playing a very important role, where the development programs are provided by the Wipro, and therefore you will find that is the better the training program is there, better will be the performance of the employees will be there. Wipro has put in place programs for the management development, the future managers program and the cultural managers program is there. So, therefore, in that case it becomes important, that is the at the global level, when you are talking about the development of the managers, so that they can work with the other colleagues also, international colleagues also. So, this type of the programs becoming very helpful, that is the future managers program and the global managers program, where they develop all the skills which are not permitted in a particular situation. Wipro has different programs catering to the different lifestyle stages of the manager. The new leaders program for the first time leader, and that is the NLP is there, and therefore in that case whoever becomes a successful and that person is for the first time leader has been announced. Wipro leaders program for the mid level career is there, and the business leaders program for a general management moving into a business role. So, in Wipro you will find there are the clear cut distinction is there between the junior level, middle management and the senior level is there. In spite of after joining the organization, one can be posted into the junior or middle level also. A strategic leaders program for the top management is there, and which can lead to the success of the organization. The another organization which I would like to mention is, that is the MDP. And MDP is used as an appropriate managerial intervention for an executive's growth, and they do not have a menu system for the executive to choose from. Instead, they design an appropriate curriculum as per the needs of the executives are concerned. So, therefore, in that case it is not that is the pre-cook the training program will be offered to them, rather than on basis of their own choices they will design their training program, and this training program will be delivered by the faculty, and then here you will find that is a cognizant which is specifying the appropriate curriculum, and therefore, in that case they get very focus, and they understand that what they are supposed to plan, what they are supposed to execute, and what they are supposed to control. So, Cognizant has tied up with the IIM Bangalore, which has customized programs to suit for its business needs. The 2-week residential program is also middle and senior level managers, that is also offered. Senior executives in Cognizant undergo leadership program at Stanford and Harvard is there. The another example which I would like to take, that is about the L'Oreal is there, Procter and Gamble, the Goldman Sachs is there. Organizations such as L'Oreal, Procter and Gamble, Goldman Sachs and the GE have recognized one of the key factors to excel in attracting and retaining the high caliber employees in today's economic and competitive environment. And therefore, in that case it is a competitive labour market, using an appealing management development program is there. Whenever we are having this type of the programs, they are making that the great success for the organization to achieve their goals. Now, here there are the different techniques of the executive development programs are there. So, the areas which are more focused. So, this slide has been taken from the Edwin Flippo's book and this is become the very important and helpful slide where we can classify and we can add. In this there may be the different techniques you might be using now. You can add those techniques, but the point is that you have to understand that what is the classification, and according to the classification that you can adopt. For example, decision making skills is there. In basket exercise is there, and therefore in basket exercise there will be the lot of suggestions and solutions are there, and you have to choose as per your need is concerned. So, we have also studied the Maslow's theory of hierarchy of needs, and in this Maslow's theory of hierarchy of needs we know that is the first and foremost is the physiological need, then safety, then social, then self esteem, and then self actualization. So, therefore, in basket this need will be identified, that is what is the need is there, and out of this need. However, the criticism of this theory of Maslow's hierarchy needs of the motivation is that is Maslow has stored first physiological need will be satisfied, then only person will be motivated for the safety, which is not correct. And today also we find many people, many children there with the paper and using this pen and pencil techniques and all, they find out that is their needs are different, and these needs are maybe the self esteem, right, or in the like for example, when we are talking about those who are the achievers, right. So, the achievers are they are between the self esteem and self actualization. They may not go physiological needs and safety needs and social needs are there. So, therefore, in that case it becomes very important that is what type of you are having this particular aspect of developing this in basket exercise. There will be the different options, and from these options you will be able to come out with that particular solution. So, here it becomes important, that is the what you are having, and then you nowadays we are using even in the classroom of MBA and maybe with the senior executives, and that is the simulation games are there. They are the different business games are there. Now, I would like to give an example of the that is climbing the hills, and in the climbing the hills you are having the different types of the team members, and then you have to achieve the goal. So, naturally there will be the different situations in which we would like to get sometimes motivated towards your personal goal and not to the goals objective. Sometimes you will become bored and then you will not be participating or acting, and therefore, in that case in this business game you will find different situations are there, and on basis of these different situations you will be able to develop that particular the action, decision making, and therefore, this exercise comes under the decision making skills and this business game will help you that how to take the business decisions. There is another very popular method in this decision making skills, and it is about the case study. That is, the case study is distributed, and then the trainees they go through the case study, they identify the problem, they make the short list of that SWOT analysis, then create the solution and provide the solution. So, therefore, in that case that is what decisions are to be taken in a given situation, these decision making skills that will be helping. Then interpersonal skills are the another area where these techniques of the executive developments are used, that is the role play. Now, there is a difference between the role play and the behavior modeling. Here we see the A is the role play and C is the behavior modeling is there, and there is a difference. What is the difference is that is the if you play the role, you are playing a particular character, that is how this character has to be played, but when you are playing the behavior modeling, then you are representing that particular personality. You are not independent personality because you are replicating the behavior of others. So, therefore, in that case it is the role playing and the behavior modeling will be there. However, there will be the sensitive training which is not our this part of the routine training programs, but yes, whenever there is a certain issues, conflict management issues are there, then the sensitivity training techniques will be used, in which you keep the person in others shoes, and then therefore let him understand that what are the problems are there, and then he will provide the solutions. That is the sensitivity training is there. Job knowledge, I always say nothing can be compensated with the job knowledge. First and foremost requirement for your success is that you should have the job knowledge, that is called the on the job experience is there. Then there can be the coaching, and there will be the understudy will be there, where they can go through this step of the training and they can find out that is the what is the helpful and what is not. Similarly, you have to also understand that is these are very subjective. When we are talking about the organization knowledge are having the job rotation and multiple management is there. So, what is the job rotation? Now, you see that is the one person only for the one position cannot be hired. So, organization looking for the jack of all, maybe the master of none. So, therefore, in that case it is the they will having the job rotation, and the person is able to work on the different jobs. Some jobs naturally he will do excellent, some jobs he is learning. Then the multiple management is there in organizational knowledge, then there definitely it is not the one layer, it can be the multi layers management can be there, one layer, two layers, three layers, four layers, and therefore in that case it will be the multiple management will be there. Then the general knowledge is what is happening in the surroundings, special courses, special meetings, special readings are there, and therefore the person develops his overall comprehensive personality, and therefore in that case this is called the general knowledge is there. Then specific individual needs, I mentioned in the beginning, that is the development. Development is depending to meet the organizational needs and individual needs. So, individual may not be good in technology, and he may require to produce the production on the basis of the help of the technology. What do you think? What will be the problem? The problem will be he will not be able to operate, and if he is not able to operate, he will be outsourced, and if outsource is not properly done, it will be having this type of the certain issues are there, and therefore in that case it is important that is you have to understand what is the organizational knowledge, what is the traditional knowledge, what are the specific individual needs are there, and on basis of this you can offer the general courses, special meetings, specific readings are there. So, that will be helping you to identify that is what are the different methods are there. So, in basket exercise, look upon a number of the papers such as the memoranda, reports, telephone messages from trifight, confront a merger and respond immediately is there. Second is the case study, take up a simulated business problem and appropriate is there, merits and demerits of the case studies are there. Then the when using the case studies. Now, case studies are the very good examples for the real time situations. So, we be clear about the learning objectives and explore the possible ways to realize the objectives are there. Case study should be matched with your objectives. Objectives are the learning and understanding a particular subject. For example, this is a OB. So, in OB we will be likely to talk about that is the what are the different leadership behavior are expected. So, therefore, in that case you will find that you can decide objectives which will be serving the case study method in a better way. Find out the available cases that might work on, consider developing your own. Now, many people they develop their own case studies, and those case studies are based on their professional experience, are they as a officer in a government organization, and they share those particular experiences. But very few experiences are converted into the knowledge library. So, therefore, this attempt can be made to create the knowledge library in the multiple cases development. Set up the activity that including the case material, the room and the landline, you have to also find out what are the consider developing your own, whether it is benches are given, whether it is chairs are given, whether it is sofas are given, and set up the activity including the case material, the room and the schedule is there. So, you have to book. You have to book the room, the particular place where this particular exercise will be done, and then the room and the numbers will be scheduled by the case leader. Observe the principles that guide the effective group interactions are there, and naturally whenever there are the group, maybe in the water cooler talks. So, even if there is a water cooler talks, they are working together, they may like to go with these the different discussions, and here we will find out that is they observe the effective group interactions are there. Similarly, we find out an opportunity to all the trainees to participate meaningful and try to keep the group small and stop at the process checks and get set to intervene when interactions go out of hand. Here we again we have to understand, like I have mentioned about the different pedagogy or the training techniques. Similarly, allow for the different learning styles. Learners will also have the different their maturity level, their gender level, their economic conditions and their state of mind. So, clarify the trainer's role is a facilitator what is a training? Training is not compulsion. Training is provided to help you and do your job in a better way. However, some trainers, they are very strict, but ultimately what is the outcome? Outcome is not that the trainer learns and understands. It is the what you learn and understand. Bridge the gap between the theory and the practices are there. This already I have talked about. The business games are there, then the role playing are there, trainer's responsibility in the role playing behavior. In the role playing, as I mentioned earlier, that is a role of a production manager, a role of a commercial manager, like this the roles will be there. Now, these are the T group consists of 10 to 12% training group is there, sensitivity training is there, changing the behavior through the unstructured group interaction, right, and therefore, it does not become very formals are there. Now, on the job experience, behavior modeling and coaching, they are having their own strengths, as I mentioned, that is demonstrate the desired behavior, and again comes the time. Training is a chance to practice and role play those behaviors and receive feedback is there. So, this particular sort of the training needs that has to be identified, that is the what is the requirement is there. Behavior modeling and the coaching is there, they are having their own merits and demerits. Many times development method where potential managers are given the chance to temporarily the relieve an experienced manager of a part of his job and act as a high substitute during the period is there. So, that job rotation also becomes a very important. So, this offers training is called the idea behind this is to give managers the required diversified skills and the broader outlook. The multiple management which the permanent advisory committee of the manager study problems of the company, thereby gaining the first hand experience of various important aspects of business and make the recommendations for the higher management is there. Here we will also find that is the special methods which can be used, courses can be used, the projects can be given, the committee assignments are there and conferences can be organized. Normally the traditional methods are the discussion, individual discussions, the group discussion with the in a small group of the people, with them the discussion is there, and there are the programmed instructions are there. So, here you will find the certain examples of what are the techniques and what are the suitability. So, for the job rotation to develop the diversified skills and broaden the outlook of an executive, go for the job rotation. To aid the succession planning, please go to the understudies there. To assist the manager in expanding their outlook and knowledge in various functional areas, please go to the multiple management. Then it is a case study, analytical reasoning and problem solving skills is required. Then when they to translate the theoretical knowledge into the action plans, promote good human relations, that will be the role playing will be done. To reach interpersonal and cognitive skills, the behavior modeling is done. To promote situational judgment and the social sensitivity will be there. And the business games are to develop the smart thinking, quick reactions, initiative, organizing and the leadership skills are there. Now, the sensitivity training is to promote self-awareness and its impact on others. To improve and expand knowledge, attitudes and to develop interpersonal skills will be there, and to impart conceptual knowledge to a large audience within a short span of time, and that will be through the lectures are there. So, therefore, there will be a particular objective, and then you have to see that is which training technique or methods which you can use. Finally, I would like to come to the research paper, and this is human relations development practices and their association with employees attitude between the traditional and the new careers are there. This is very interesting paper, and this paper will be helping you to investigate the trends in development practices and their effects on employee attitude by analyzing differences in perceptions of significance, development, satisfaction with development and commitment in two samples collected at different times are there. So, this is a longitudinal study, and the study also aimed to analyze the association between the development experiences and organizational commitment in different demographic variables. The study has done in 97 and 2000 the data collection was used and therefore, the finding of the studies are the study highlighted the importance of implementing practices that enhance the developmental opportunity for older and the low skilled workers. An organization providing the best development experiences only to managers and professionals may not be prepared for the challenges within an aging and diverse workforce is there. So, it emphasizes the need to focus on the job training interventions, indicate a transition from traditional development practices towards the modern traditional practices of the training and development. The study also noted limitations related to the sample biasness towards higher levels of commitment, the size and the industry of organizations, and the need to consider the contextual variables when the studying is done. And in this type of these papers, research papers, you please keep on reading. So, these are having the implications to understand how to make the different development programs across the workforce it should play a role in preserving and increasing the knowledge of all individuals. I also highlighted the importance of understanding the changing role and status of training and development activities within organization. The emphasizing the need for HR to adapt to new trends in the development practices are there which can be adopted. This is the book which would like to suggest the future of human resource management. There are the 64 thought leaders explore the critical HR issues of today and tomorrow. This is the edited by these the Mike Lozzi and others. The future of this human resources management is the groundbreaking collection that gathers insight from these 64 HR thought leaders, and it dwells into the evolving landscape of HRM, tackling the pressing the challenges, unveiling the future opportunities. This book is indispensable for understanding HRM's trajectory, offering diverse perspective that equip readers with knowledge to navigate and shape the future of HR practices effectively is there. I am sure that this type of these journal readings and the book readings will help you to gather the knowledge in a detailing what we have talked today. Thank you.